Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Huddle, the Review.com's weekly high school sports show. I'm Rob Todor, joined as always by Mike Brown. And Mike, it's regional semifinal week of the high school football playoffs, and we are down to one team standing, the St. Thomas Aquinas Knights, who on Friday night at Sistone Stadium in Akron will take on the Cuyahoga Heights Redskins.
Yeah, Aquinas is the sole survivor, Rob. They're the last team standing. And they struggled a little bit last week against Lisbon. I thought that would be a pretty easy game for St. Tom, but it was not. They trailed for quite a while in that game, came back, got an 18-yard field goal from Andrew Jenkins as with 1 second left to win that game, a very hard-fought game. So in their prize, they get Cuyahoga Heights, which is having a banner year, as you and I both know.
Yeah, the signature win, I think, for Cuyahoga Heights this year, a 21-0 win over Kirtland late in the season. And I think that really opened a lot of people's eyes, because you may not know much about Cuyahoga Heights, but if you haven't heard about Kirtland, you've been living under a rock for the last 3 years.
Right, and the thing is, those two are rivals. And Cuyahoga Heights has had great teams for a long time. It's just they've been overshadowed by Kirtland, who's knocked them off most years except this one. And so when that 21-0 score in favor of Cuyahoga Heights came in against Kirtland, my goodness, did that send some shockwaves through Ohio. That tells me that's a very good football team.
What do you know about the Knights? What do they have to do? Obviously, play mistake-free football and probably get a lead early,
right?
Kind of so they can dictate tempo.
Right. The computer models I've seen had Aquinas about a 7-point underdog. So that means as we use these elections, they're within the margin of error. So I think they've got a shot. They're going to have to play really well. They're going to have very few, if any, turnovers. I think, Robin, something like this. Try and tilt the field with their defense, and get some scores with their running game. Nathan Rich rushed for 132 yards last week. They need that kind of effort again this week, I think.
What was the thing with the Knights? I know Lisbon came at them with a lot of different formations.
Yes, they did.
They ran a wing tee. They ran a spread. Do you think it was just a matter of keeping Aquinas off balance?
Yeah, I think it was, and I think they finally adjusted, thank goodness, in time, and got that thing right. But St. Tom was down early in that game and had to claw and fight back to get it.
Okay. What do you know about Cuyahoga Heights? Just a really good defensive team.
I know they're very well coached. Two of the better coaches around. They have a great coach, and obviously we know Tiger Laverty at Kirtland is a good coach. Those are two of the best small school coaches around. I'm pretty sure they have a winning percentage of over 800 in the last 10 years. It's just like we said, they've been overshadowed by Kirtland, but lo and behold, here they are. But they have a good defense. Their games have been very low scoring this year. I believe they're a pretty balanced team from what I've heard too, Rob. They've got the good run-pass ratio there, and they got good defense. When you play good defense, you can be in any game. It doesn't matter who you're playing.
Yep, absolutely. Well, make sure you check out the review and the review.com. We'll have previews of that game. We'll have live coverage of the game. We'll have video of that game as well. Before we go, though, let's give a shout-out to the Marlington Dukes. 10-0. They faced a juggernaut, really, an Akron East team that gave them some matchup problems. So we surmised might happen.
Right, and that Akron East team, from what I understand, was huge. Had like a 50-pound advantage per man on the offensive line and just came right after Marlington. It was kind of a surprise to us, but Akron East has had a great year. That's their first time in the playoffs, but that's a program that's really on the upswing. But, Marlington's had a fantastic year. Hats off to Bo Balderson, the NBC Coach of the Year. Dukes go 10-0 and had a lot of wonderful wins over teams, some highlights and stuff like that. So hats off to the Dukes, too.
Absolutely. All right, well, make sure you check out the review and the review.com for coverage this weekend of the Knights. For Mike, this is Rob. We will talk to you next week.